you're turning it on.
Well, you saw the timer, right?
No, there's a timer?
Well, it just like counts down.
I just wait till you start doing stuff.
Well,
and then I'm like, now we're
story of my life.
Now we're ready.
Happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
Whoa! I'm not gonna say what I said earlier today about Valentine's Day. It was pretty funny though.
Use your imagination, kids.
Yeah, I can't say that on air. This is a family show, right?
Family. It's family adjacent.
Family-ish.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
I feel my hair is just getting taller and taller.
Mine's getting shorter and shorter.
Okay.
I got to cut this week, and I'm going for that Casino Royale Daniel Craig look.
There you go.
I want it like high and tight, but just enough so you can do something with
Gonna
it.
kill a guy in a washroom.
Got to get that 007 somehow. What a great scene.
Oh man,
God, I love that scene.
love that movie.
So good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Let's just talk about that.
He falls in love in that
He does.
with
Not supposed to, though.
Vesper. Vespa.
Eva Green.
He says like Vespa,
Vespa.
but it's spelled like
the
Vesper.
like the scooter?
Yeah, but it's not spelled like that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
This is what people came for.
is it?
No.
Happy Friday. This is the Mythos weekly live stream. Try to be weekly. I think we did last week. What am I talking about?
We're weekly when we can.
Weekly when we can.
Yeah.
So
yeah. How you doing, Zach?
I'm great.
Are you?
Well, as great as I usually am, I
Yeah.
guess. I'm very tired. I went and saw Captain America: Brave New World.
Spoiler alert.
I'll give it one of like this. It's not this, but it's not here either.
So it's like a C? C plus?
C minus.
C minus. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Harrison Ford, great.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, how are you?
Man, I'm terrific. Yeah. Terrific as always.
Just like a golden retriever.
I really am. No, I am. I'm
Human
great.
form.
I feel really good. Enjoying myself. Family's great.
So,
What?
before we get into all the
Are you
guitar
gonna
stuff,
psychoanalyze me?
well, I was just gonna say
Okay.
whenever maybe I'm telling too much.
Okay.
Behind the scenes in NAMM. Usually when I hang out with Rhett and Tilly, there's other YouTubers and other people there.
Yeah.
And inevitably, the conversation goes into some weird philosophical thing.
Yeah.
And by that point, I'm like, I'm going to go back to my room. But
I always am back in the room already.
yeah, you're like, nope.
Nope. Yeah.
But if you were, what is your spirit animal?
I think it's a golden retriever.
It's a golden
Absolutely.
retriever.
Yeah.
Or a Labrador, maybe?
Yeah, I'm just happy. Just feed me and pet me.
Yeah, give you a piece of cheese, and you're like, oh.
Pretty much. I mean, I don't know. I definitely, as people that watch this all the time, the simple pleasures in life are what I enjoy the most. And so I'm like, I'm usually always happy. Like, oh man, I'm gonna have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and I get really excited.
What am I? You think maybe a raccoon because I'm good with my hands.
You love digging through the trash.
Yeah, well, if there's anything good in there, I gotta find out.
Oh man, I don't know. Spirit animal is such a funny thing.
Yeah, because it's all made up.
Yes.
Anyway,
So what do we want to talk about today?
We're gonna talk about some of the gear we love.
Yes, because you technically got a new guitar this week.
Yeah.
Technically.
I mean, they're all mine.
Every guitar that we own for the shop is yours until we sell it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But you've decided to keep one.
I have.
And then I brought a guitar to show off, and then you've got another guitar that we always like to show off here.
Yes.
So.
And it's gonna probably be a lot of familiar instruments. Well, yours might not.
I don't think I've showed it off on the live stream.
No, but if people know me, they know one of my guitars that I'm going to talk
Yeah.
about.
So what do you want to start with?
Should we start with a new thing?
Yeah, I think we should start with a new thing. Yeah.
So, the eagle-eyed amongst you would have seen me messing with this.
There it is.
Oh, God.
So, why don't you tell the people the story of this guitar, Zachary?
So, Carlos, which way do I hold this?
You're doing great.
From Castadosa, hung out with us at the Eastside 10-year.
Yeah, that was in September.
And at that party, he said, "Hey, I got a new shape. Can I show you?" I was like, "Yeah, you can show me." And it was this. But there was a few different specs. So, gearing up to wood, wire, and volts, right? Building up to the NAMM show and all of that.
Yeah.
Carlos said, "Hey, we're going to release the new model."
The Halcon.
Halcon.
El Halcon.
Yeah. Is it Alcone?
You could say
He said the H was silent.
Okay.
But I don't know. I'm also
white.
I'm very white.
Extremely white. Transparent.
Yeah. But building up to that event, we spec'd out one. And normally this comes with...
The way he had spec'd it out was a triple Jazzmaster pickup, and then it's a baritone, so he did the mastery bridge and trem like he does on the Conchers.
Yes.
And so that was what we thought the model was going to be. And so we ordered it, and we said, you can do it in a sunburst.
Yeah, just 3-tone sunburst, like classic.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. We thought that's a safe bet.
Yeah, and then like a week before the show, 10 days before the show, and we had paid for the guitar already to secure a spot because only 6 dealers got one of the new ones ready to go for the show, and we were going to be at the show with Carlos, so we wanted it at our booth. And so we paid for it, and then he sent us both a text message saying, "Hey guys, I changed some specs on that guitar," and this was it.
This is it. So it is brown sparkle. It's like it's almost got like an it almost reminds me of Illusion root beer.
It does have
that we use on the Joey Mjolnir. But 3 of their baritone mini hums.
Same ones they use in the Conchers, which I have in mine, and we have for sale right now in our Fiesta, a red Conchers baritone, hand wound by Stephanie.
And they're perfect for this guitar. And a Schroeder wraparound.
Which is my favorite bridge of all time.
Yes.
The Schroeder wraparound.
And yeah, it's...
So Carlos knew, he's like, I made this one for you guys. Like, I know that you guys are wrap tail guys. I know that you love that because I got a Schroeder wrap tail on my Mariana, which he did not make for that guitar, but I asked for it and he did it for me. And so this is a weaponized. I mean, Carlos knew what he was doing when he made this guitar. I think he always knew that you were going to keep it. I think he knew that you were going to keep it. So.
Is he a soothsayer like June?
I think he is. Yeah.
Predict the future.
Yes. But I remember when I was talking to him when I got my Conchers last year, and that was in May, and then we started talking to him about the store. He said, "You know what? I'm going to get Zach.
Yeah.
Like I will get him. I know that I'm going to get him something. I know it's just a matter of time." And then he did it. So what do you love about that thing?
Well, I love the shape first off because it is so unique. And yet, it's oddly familiar. It has kind of a Firebird-esque thing. It's 27-inch scale. It is not chambered. Someone asked if it's chambered. And so the shape immediately drew me to it because it's got like
a little
this
Fender Maverick thing going on.
A little bit of a Maverick sort of vibe. I love this little iconography here of a bird, but also this looks very reminiscent of what a toggle switch drawing looks like. On like some schematics that kind of have this weird switch thing here. But the thing that drew me to it more than anything was just you play it, and I hope that shotgun mic is picking up. It's one of the most resonant, lively, interesting guitars I've ever played, and the fact that it's baritone.
Yeah.
The thing that has drawn me to it more than anything, because we got it, and I was like, I'm just gonna take it home.
You sent me a photo, and I'm like, it was hanging at your house,
on the wall.
And I said, oh, he's done. He's done. I knew right away because we played it at the show, and it felt amazing. But we also just played it through headphones.
Yeah. And you couldn't really like hear it like unplugged.
But it felt amazing. And this is ebony board as well.
And ebony.
Rotary switch.
Herringbone purfling around the binding.
Double cream binding.
Yes. So I mean, it's all the. Is it everything he does? Is it pretty much? I mean, except for I guess he'd do blocks maybe.
He usually does, but he did it's different inlays on this one.
Yes.
You've got the two. That's like the kind of longer, skinny dot here, you know.
And these lines represent life, death, and rebirth.
Yep.
And the
headstock's different.
And the headstock is slightly different. It's kind of hard to see because of the...
But he's changed it slightly to kind of fit better with the lines of the guitar, which I love, that kind of attention to
it's
detail.
A little flat. It almost looks like a bird, like the head.
Yeah.
Put a bird on it.
Put a bird on it.
The thing that I love the most about it, and the thing that, when I talked to Carlos... was like I keep making music with it.
Yes.
Which, as much as I love all my other guitars, a lot of time it's just, they're just taking me to a place I already know.
Yeah.
And this is taking me somewhere I've never been.
Mm-hmm.
And what more could you ask from any instrument?
Well, that was what, I've told the story of like how I ended up with the conchers. I'd never considered a baritone, and I played one of them at Carlos's house, and instantly, like, I wrote, riffs on it the second I picked it up.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, it's like if you pick up a guitar and you instantly start playing without thinking, you're not testing it, you're just playing. That's when you know something's right. And whatever Carlos and Stephanie are doing with these pickups and the scale length, like all of the string gauge, everything together, is just perfection in my opinion. And I absolutely love it. And I like having the mastery on mine because it gives me something different.
Yeah.
But holy crap, can you chug a lug on a rat tail?
Yeah, because you
can chug a lug on a rat tail. Okay, so people are talking about this, and I think it's an important part of this. You're not supposed to get high on your own supply. Like, I've been arguing with you for a week now, basically, about whether or not we should keep the guitar. Because, obviously we got it for the store. Mm-hmm. And, there's not going to be very many. I mean, this is a very unique piece.
This is one of the first 6.
One of the first 6,
right?
And the only
6?
one with a wrap tail. Yes.
That's serial number 333.
Halfway to hell, which I call it. Halfway to hell. And there it is. And so, I really wanted to sell it because I think that, obviously it's good for the store. But then I also thought about it, and I said, what else is good for High Voltage and for Castadosa that you loved a guitar so much that you couldn't sell it?
I couldn't sell it.
You just literally, there's no way that we could sell this guitar. So now you can never sell it because I will fight you. I mean, if you sell it, you sell to me. Yeah. Because it's that kind of guitar.
Yeah, I mean, Justin says, but Carlos got it for Zach. I think you're right. I think Carlos made this thinking this is going to be Zach's.
Well, he is happy you're keeping it, right?
Oh yeah,
because you've talked extensively about it. And it's just, it happens, right? Mm-hmm. It happens. And we knew eventually one of us was going to keep a piece of gear that came in. We knew it was going to happen. Yeah. We knew it would be you because you already paid for it once it came in. So, it's a fun story. And I'm looking forward to you doing a video about this. So everybody getting a sneak preview of, obviously, what the video is going to be about, but that was my one condition, is that we're going to market the hell out of the fact that you're keeping the guitar and promoting the brand and promoting Carlos and sort of what he's accomplished with these guitars. Yeah. Which I think is pretty rad. And yes, I eventually will be ordering one for myself. I'll probably do standard scale since I already have a baritone, but it's so hard to Well,
that's not out yet.
No, he's not offering that yet. Essentially I asked him, would you do standard scale? And, he said probably eventually, because he eventually did a standard conchers. And so, but I mean, it's not like I wouldn't order one anyway, even if it had to be a baritone, because it's so good. I would own 2 baritones from Carlos.
Yeah. It's so wacky because I've never owned a baritone. And so even playing, because, that's E there. So even playing riffs I know on this sounds so different. I really like the pickup selector. Yes, it's a rotary 5-way pickup selector. Yeah. So you have all the in between. But even let's play Beer Drinkers Hellraisers. Yeah. It just has a different. But the coolest thing about it is you play it in the position where you know stuff and there's.
Well, I one of my favorite things about having the baritone too is that I've revisited riffs that I've written, because I record everything when I write it, and I've revisited riffs that I've written that I thought were okay, or maybe it's a little too happy or a little too and I play it on this and it sounds amazing. Yeah. So I'm you could go through your entire catalog and find all these riffs that maybe you've worked on that didn't exactly work, but it kind of stuck with you for some reason, and then play it on the baritone. You're oh, there it is. That's what it wanted to be the whole time. Yeah, which I think is super fun. So.
I love anything that makes you want to make music. Yeah, and just takes you somewhere else. And this is I don't know. My Esquire takes me to a completely different place.
Yeah.
And I don't talk about that guitar.
Good segue.
I almost brought it.
Well, I've got my single pickup F1 right there. So,
but yeah, so I want to try to get it. Let me see if I can not ding it on the
chippy style.
The chippy style. Let's see. I'm trying to. There it is. You can see the color of the sparkle.
The brown sparkle. Really good aging on
Focus.
that guard,
There
too.
it is. Yeah, the guard looks great.
And of course the knobs rule.
I love these. These are 1450s Davy knobs.
I have those on my Mariana.
Mm-hmm. The Klon is 1470s.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They have a nose, a chicken head.
Yeah.
You want me to get your guitar?
Sure. All right. Well, if anybody has more questions about that guitar, we can talk about that. Also, if you're interested in getting into something similar, we do have the Fiesta Red Contras for sale, which is the same pickups, same wood basically. It's got that mastery, so you get all the fun sounds with it. So this is an absolutely disgusting guitar here.
It feels like it's filled with helium.
This is my Soulless F1. For longtime followers of mine, you kind of know a lot about this guitar, but since we're showing off things that we love, I thought it would be a good time to tell the story of this guy on the live stream. So,
something's flat.
So, yeah, we don't have time to tune on here. I just wanted to play how loud it was.
It's tuned when you got it.
So it was in tune when I got it. So this is the very first Soulless, production Soulless ever made. Mm-hmm. So there's a prototype that was made in 2019, and then while we were working on it, this guitar started floating through the shop, right? So what happened is that Dennis told me that Keith Urban, who had a couple Novos already, a couple Saris J's, was interested in getting a Soulless F1.
Wait a minute, Keith Urban, the actor?
Yes, Keith Urban, the actor. Famous actor Keith Urban. That's Carl Urban.
Oh.
We're talking about Keith Urban, the country music superstar.
Oh, man.
Right. So, Dennis said that he sent him some photos of it, and he was into it, and he wanted one. So, Dennis sent me a couple text messages from Keith about like what color he wanted and all this stuff. And so this guitar starts coming through the shop. And I'm like, oh, sweet, we're making a guitar for Keith Urban. It'd be really cool to get him a new model before it comes out. We're launching this thing. I think it finally went live. So we debuted it at NAMM 2020. So this is summer of 2019. Mm-hmm. And also that summer, I happened to be getting married, right? So I got my wedding is August 10th. It's coming up. And this guitar conspicuously is getting done right around the same time. But I'm not thinking anything of it. I'm thinking this guitar is for Keith Urban. At some point, it gets stamped Urbanus in the cavity, and the spec sheet is going around because Dennis is like Saris and Miras, so he called it the Urbanus, right? And then eventually, Dennis was always like really interested if like I liked the color or what I was thinking of it, always was like kind of checking everything. I think it's a big deal because it's for Keith. Mm-hmm. So what we're really talking about is just him wanting to make sure that I was good with all this stuff, right? So eventually it starts coming up. The guitar gets done. I noticed that, Dennis did the sanding on it. Dennis set it up, the whole thing. And I remember everybody's in town for the wedding, and it was like a Wednesday before we were getting married. And the guitar gets done, and my dad's in town already, and he comes in, and Dennis is like, weirdly really wants my dad to play this guitar and check it out and make sure that it's great. And I'm still like not thinking anything, whatever, right?
Dummy.
Well, it is. And then at the rehearsal dinner, which was Friday night before my wedding, Dennis shows up and he has a guitar case, and I knew instantly that's what it was, that he gave it to me. So it was a wedding present from Dennis, and he lied to me the whole time, and everybody that knew about it lied to me the whole time that this guitar was for me. Which is, the very first production Soulless ever made. It's 5.8 pounds.
It's wild.
TV burst, and I think it's the best Novo ever made. Personally, I've played a lot of them. I think it's the loudest one that I've ever heard. It's completely bone stock, and I absolutely love it.
Did Dennis do any of the distressing on that one?
He did the distressing on it. Yep.
Oh, he did.
Yep. He did everything. He did everything. So, it's a very I got a lot of pictures of it, like. In our hotel room, like the night of the wedding and all that stuff. And not those kind of pictures.
Allison wasn't there.
Yes, I was like, oh, look at that. Look at this guitar. So it's like, it's always like the first guitar that I grab. I always keep it, hanging in the den or in the living room. So whenever I just want to pick up and play a guitar, I mean, it's so loud. It's essentially... It's essentially an acoustic guitar. I can play it like that. So you know, it's really special. The only thing that I've done to it is the F1 ship with 11s, and I decided to put 10s on it, so it's got a little bit more of a slinky feel to it.
Are they 10 to 48 or?
It's 10 to 46.
Yeah, that's 46.
Yeah, which I really like. You know, I think that the 11s are really cool on it, but I wanted it to be just a little bit more of a hot-rodded guitar.
I think that all the F1 and the M1 with 11s, it's like it's good for that. But like if you're wanting to bend, I think it really it gives you a little bit more of that Jimmy Page. Woo!
And that's how I play Telecaster style is Jimmy Page and Jack White. Like that's the kind of energy.
Woo!
That's how I make that noise too. It's good. So you know, I think it's a pretty famous Novo, and you know, it's a great color.
Look at the gray. You can. I know that's a lot of reflection.
I know,
but you can really see how much is going on.
Yeah. But it's a great.
The burst is really good too.
The burst is awesome. Yeah, and that was like I really liked the idea of doing TV burst because this was like we were doing the F1 and the M1.
This is different.
Yeah. So this is funny. So like this is like a production difference. This is the off the shelf, plate, and so Dennis actually we got them made so the curve could be slightly different because Dennis wanted to be in line right here so it doesn't have as much fall off.
Those are the details that matter, folks.
And Dennis rules because we had to get it made. I'm like, we don't have to get it made. We could just buy these. And he's like, no, I want it to be like this. So mine has the old style because it was the first one made.
I like the heel like that.
Yeah,
but
so it's slightly different. So it has like the natural,
At least
which I think is really cool.
You don't see it from the front, but because that's one thing that I think Dennis, maybe more than anybody I've ever been around, is so aware of like the angles.
Everybody notices this one, right? Where the pick guard goes in line with the top of the Tele bridge pickup.
Oh. I never noticed that it followed the Tele angle.
Yeah, it follows.
Is that why he did the pick guard that way?
Yep, 100%.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that's smart.
That's why.
Nerd.
He is a nerd. That's it.
As someone who is a bona fide nerd, we spent half an hour talking about, like, just the importance of Steve Rogers this morning.
Yeah, we did. We love Steve Rogers. But so this will always be an extra special guitar for me, and you know, my wife loves it. Also, my father-in-law has a 58 Les Paul Jr. that is the same color, so that's super rad.
Aren't like real 58s. Well, maybe that was an earlier thing, but I feel like on a lot of early like Les Paul Juniors, this is kind of because you can in the light it's not black, it's not pure black.
Oh, okay.
It's almost like because like this is pure black. On the camera, it's kind of hard to see, but you can see there's a difference in color. But I feel like on some juniors, this is a lighter color than the back and the sides.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And so next time you see
look at
his
it.
junior,
I've got some photos of them right next to each other that I took right after I got this guitar.
It's the side, but it's funny. That's see, another detail. But I mean, it's a great one. I've been trying to convince Matthew to put like a really insanely hot.
I just always liked the way it sounded, so I like never felt like there was a reason for me to change the pickup.
I get it. When I had my F1, I put a DiMarzio in the bridge, and that guitar, it was nowhere near as light as this. It's sub 7 pounds for sure, but that thing just. Man, it was
This had the record for the lightest Novo. I don't remember if anything has beat it that was a solid body. I think we did have some pine Mirises that might have been a little bit lighter, but 5.8 is probably the lightest one.
I mean, there's such little hardware on it.
Yeah.
That I mean, how much does a Mastery weigh?
I think it's like almost half a pound by itself.
Oh, that's all?
Yeah, it's not too crazy. Maybe more than that.
I figured it would be a little.
All right. What other piece of gear you want to talk about there, bud?
Well,
you got to talk about the GOAT, the old school.
Yeah.
The big dog.
Would have to be very aware of the time because
you're dipping.
Immediately before this, I was talking to Mick from that pedal show.
About what?
I don't know.
Oh, we announced that already.
Yeah,
People know about it. You don't have
it's
it
in the other room. The Argo Boost Deluxe, which the release date will be officially announced soonish.
Yeah.
And then we're doing this, and then we're doing Dipped in Tone. So the guitar that I've often thought I'd sell, and then every time I start having that thought, it quickly goes away, is this.
This is the goat.
The goat. There it is. This is my 2014 R9. And honestly, of all my guitars, this one's probably the one I'm most sentimental about, because I'm way over there. Because I got it after Morgan and I got engaged.
Yeah, that's a.
Because when she got her ring, the deal was, I'm going to go pick out my guitar that I've always wanted, because you're getting the ring you always wanted. And let's face it, your ring's a lot more expensive than this was.
What a deal.
But yeah, so for anybody out there that doesn't know the story on this R9, this started life as a washed cherry R9. And if you don't know washed cherry, just think of kind of like Clownburst. It was pretty bright cherry. But I don't know the weight on this one specifically. It's not super heavy, but this one just was super. Let's see if it's in tune. No, super resonant.
We're real prepared here.
I have on the cases, in the Gibson cases, I have those. There's like a little pillow that you put behind the headstock now, and it turns the tuners. But this guitar just, I played. Okay, let me back up. I went to Carter on a day off. And I brought a bunch of gear.
You went to work on your day off?
Well, to play guitars. And it took as much money as I had available to me. And I got every Burst reissue that had a top that I liked. And this one
It's a great top.
Has a pretty special top on it. So I took it in one of the rooms and just stayed in there for a while. And played all of them, and this one, despite being more expensive because it was an R9, was the one. Far and away the one. And got it, played it for ages and ages, and then at the end of my time at Carter, my friend, Tom Murphy, and I...
My friend Tom Murphy.
Were chatting about... this guitar, because we had a Pearly Gates, one of the Pearly Gates reissues in the high-end room, and I was like, man, I love the look of this guitar. I wish my R9 looked like this. And Tom was like, what year is your R9? And I told him, he was like, well, let's just repaint the top. And so after some contemplating, and my friend Ryan Warner had already done it, and his guitar came looking just absolutely perfect, I drove up to Tom's house and we refinished the top on this guitar. So I took all the crap off of it and taped off the sides and the neck and the fretboard, and he and I stripped it, and Tom, he hung it upside down and I watched him paint it. And he said, you want more brown, you want more red? And so I set the amount of color that I wanted on it with Tom. We took it outside, held it in the sun. We're like, what do you think? What do you think? And it ended up looking like this. He took it. It was really bright when he got done. And I was a little concerned. He said, it'll mellow out. And about 2 months later, I drove back to his house, and he just walked out of his shop, nodding his head and smiling, and opened the case, and lo and behold, it was this in there. And
beautiful.
Currently, it has the Duncan Antiquity JB Jazz in it.
I mean, that's the coolest thing ever.
And it rips. But it has had pretty much everything else changed on it except strap buttons and tuners and the nut. But everything else, and the pickguard bracket, and the back plates. But everything else is pretty much as it was. or pretty much changed. So, yeah, it's had a lot of different plastics. And you modded an original R9? Yes. Jason, I did.
I mean, that's a bit. He knows.
No, I know.
He knows.
But, yeah. So,
And do we have a set of those, or do we?
We
sell?
do. We have a set of these. I'm
trying to make some money here, boss.
Yeah, I can't. Are they double black or are they zebra?
Oh,
I think they're zebra.
I think we got zebras to match it.
Yeah, because these pickups. So, oftentimes we get really hung up on only like toying with the idea of putting PAFs in your guitar.
Yes.
And like
this show.
Well, but there's so many options out there. And the JB and the Jazz, they're classic for a reason. They're not, I think so often we kind of forget Duncan and DiMarzio and all these guys. The reason they're successful is because the stuff they make actually sounds good.
And it's what people wanted in the time.
Yeah.
Too. They made stuff that pushed guitars in different directions and helped define genres. And there's lots of neat things that they've done. I
mean, rock and roll music as we know it would not be the same without the DiMarzio Super Distortion.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that really set a precedent
excuse me,
for pushing amps in a way that pickups hadn't done before. Mm-hmm. And the JB is not quite like that, but man, it just the Antiquity set of this, which we have at highvoltageguitars.com.
Hey, yeah.
This is not an ad, but it's an ad. They just sound awesome. Mm-hmm. Like, if you have a guitar that's like your floater humbucker guitar, mm-hmm. and you're trying to decide what other set of PAFs can I put in, do something different.
Yeah. I still need to decide what I'm going to put in the PRS, because we're going to do a mod video on that guitar. That's a good option. It is a good option.
Only thing about that guitar is I feel like it needs covers.
It does need covers.
So, and the thing about Duncan pickups is... Mm-hmm. The Seth Lovers, the normal Antiquities, they're all the vintage pole piece spacing. Mm-hmm. But most other Duncans are different pole piece spacing. So your neck, your bridge, they might not match. Mm-hmm. So if you're trying to put covers on it, it's a bit. You need to measure them because it's a bit of a
thumbs up, Trevor.
It's a bit of a shit fight.
Yeah.
So, have I tried Wolftone? Yes, they're great. But anyway. Okay, so we got that covers the three pieces that
the big pieces.
The big pieces.
Yeah.
Is there any other pieces of gear that you like as Matthew, as a guitar player, cannot live without?
Cannot live without my TU2?
Well, maybe not a tuner.
I mean, I think that we had a whole episode of Pedal Pushers, which, our
podcast?
Well, it kind of takes place of that because this is easier to do. Where we talked about our favorite pedals of all time. Uh-huh. We could bring that up. I don't think that the Flint's ever going to come off my board. Ever. No. I think the Flint, and I thought about it because I have a Vintage Deluxe coming, and that has, obviously a killer reverb and a killer trem, and I've got the Flint on the board, and I was like, well, maybe I'll take that off and I'll put something else on there. And I'm like, I thought about it, and I'm like, I just have loved this thing for 15 years or whatever, how long it's been out.
You don't need it with the Vintage
Deluxe. It sounds so good,
though.
huh?
You don't need it with the Vintage Deluxe, though.
Yeah, but I get 3 more reverbs and 3 more tremolo sounds on there. I just there's nothing I'm going to get that's going to be better than that pedal. So why would I take it off? I just love that thing so much.
Sausalito.
Ooh, I love Sausalito. Sausalito has a great Chinese restaurant. It's got pineapple fried rice, so freaking good. You know where Sausalito is?
I mean, it's in California.
It's the first town over the Golden Gate Bridge.
Oh, okay.
So if you're in the city,
Sausalito,
and you drive over the Golden Gate Bridge, Sausalito's the first town that's right over.
Who's calling me? From Sausalito.
I don't know. Sausalito. But I had that same thought. It's like, well, I don't need the Flint anymore, but I realized I've loved it so much, and I just love having it. And then the harmonic trem on there is so good. I don't have that on the...
Well...
So I get a bias tremolo on the Vintage Deluxe.
But but you do have one of these.
I do have one of those. And that's actually part of the problem is that I have this and I love this so much that anything that I would put next to it would just be in there. So what else would I put there that's not?
But you can only do one at a time.
You can only do one at a time, which it's fine. I mostly do phaser and Univibe with that thing now.
So it's funny. I had I bought this for my pedal board build that happened and then unhappened.
Yeah. But it's a great pedal.
And it is, but we ran it into my AC30, and it was really kind of noisy.
It's got a little bit of pop to it. Yeah.
So just
Yes, I'm running the Flint in the effects loop I have the effects loop on the California Tweed.
Yes.
Yeah. The Vintage Deluxe is coming when Eli decides it's coming.
When yours is, yeah.
I'm not gonna bug him. There's no chance.
No.
If it comes 5 years from now, then I'll be happy. The man's. Honestly, part of the reason, and this is not to clown on you for buying a guitar, but I also don't want to. I need all these Two Rocks for the store. So I'm like, I don't want to like push mine and be like, where's mine? When I'm like, we've got 15 amps on order or 20 amps on order from Two Rock. I need all of those stuff. So
yeah,
it'll be here when it's here. I've got plenty of gear. I'll be all right.
I just had to have that.
The Vintage Deluxe?
No, the Alcone.
I know you did.
I just had to have it.
I know.
I couldn't let it go. I'm trying to think of. I mean, obviously the Tube Screamer.
Yeah.
But I mean, like the king of all of my collection is my Klon, as far as non-guitar.
Gear you love. Yeah.
Gear I love, because like I've toyed with selling my Klon many times. I've had emails, people offered me an obscene amount of money for it.
Yeah.
And I just every time I pick it up and look at it, I think I would be so mad at myself.
Yeah.
If I sold this.
And for the Homer edition, the self-serving edition, it's the Oracle, because the Oracle really changed so much so much about my playing. Because
like the Odyssey.
Actually, the Odyssey.
Wait.
Christopher Nolan's doing the Odyssey right now.
No, was Homer's the Iliad?
Yes.
Excuse me.
That's the
Sorry.
sequel. Is that the sequel or the prequel?
I think it's a prequel.
But the Oracle, I've told this story plenty of times, and you'll all have to hear it again, changed the way I thought about delay, because I always thought I just wasn't good at guitar playing, and I was bad at delay, because every delay was just so much going on.
Delay's hard.
And then I got the Oracle, and I was like, holy shit, this is the delay that I've always wanted. Like, this is always what I thought about delay. It's always what I wanted out of a delay, and I never knew. And, my fault for not trying any of those 80s Japanese delays, but, you get a Digitech, delay when...
Your hard line, or whatever, the hardwire?
Yeah, whichever one that one had, like, this 5 settings that had, like, the reverse delay as the last one. I got it in, like, 2002 or 2003 or whatever.
Yeah, they
but I just never knew that's the effect that I actually wanted, that style. And so I thank you, Zach.
For, look at that.
Making something.
Chris, we love you.
Oh, thank you.
And by the way, it's Valentine's Day, so call somebody and tell them you love them, especially if you haven't done it lately.
Yes. Not just your significant other.
Yeah, your mom, your dad, your aunt, uncle, your
call everybody,
sibling,
whoever makes your sandwiches at Subway,
Jimmy John's.
Yeah, whatever your preferred
man.
Sandwich joint, Jersey Mike's, Firehouse, Quiznos, whatever your favorite is. Digitech, Digidelay, whatever. I think that's it. It's like Silverbox. Whichever one that was.
I think the one you mentioned was like part of I think it's a hard wire series. The ones that had like a big metal thing on the front. They had like the Lexicon Reverb versions.
I don't remember.
Right?
It was just a plastic one that like...
Oh, it was plastic.
I got at Guitar Center in like 2003. It was when I drove down to True Tone Music in Santa Monica. And I was going to buy... I wanted a drive pedal and I wanted a fuzz pedal, right? And I got AC Booster that day at... which I love.
Oh, this one. This one?
That's it. It's Digidelay. They got it right, yeah.
That's metal, or that's made of metal.
Oh, okay. I couldn't remember.
They look cheap, though.
They look cheap, yeah. But I got the AC Booster, and then I really wanted an Octane 3, but they were $300. So I didn't get one. And then, so I didn't get a fuzz, and I was like kind of disappointed because I tried a lot of fuzzes that day, and only one I really loved was the Octane 3. And so then I drove to the Oxnard Guitar Center while I was driving home on the 101, and for you Californians out there, and... I stopped there and I was like, "Oh, I'll get a delay," and that's like what you're gonna buy at the Guitar Center in 2003 is a Digidelay.
In 2000. Okay, so that was the year I graduated high school.
Yeah. My rig was I had my Carmen Gia, and the 212 Avatar Z-Best cab, and I got the AC Booster for drive, and I got that delay, and then I just gotten my McCarty. What a great rig!
Oh, there's Dan. Hey,
it's so good.
He did in the Odyssey. Okay. Corey, Digitech Time Bender was the precursor to all the Strymon stuff, in your opinion?
There you go.
It's funny. Like, do you remember?
I mean, I used it forever. It was on my board forever.
I know a lot of people that had a bunch of that Digitech stuff.
It was fine.
Remember the Eric Clapton, the Crossroads pedal?
Yeah. It's all brown and shit.
Yeah, and then they did the Hendrix Swa thing that had all stuff. It's man, like whoever's like working in licensing for Digitech was really killing it. But I
think Devin might still have that pedal.
I mean, that sounds
I think
like
he's
Devin.
still. I think he has it. Yeah, I never sold it. So, Devin, if you got it, let me know.
Do you remember? We got a little time.
Do you remember the time when we fell in love? Remember the time? Remember that?
Yeah.
Great video.
But do you remember all the damage control pedals? Which damage control is the precursor to Strymon. It's the same company.
You showed it to me,
and they look like landmines. Like I'm not joking. They literally look like a landmine.
Yeah, I remember you showing me because I really never remembered them.
Some of them had tubes in them. Just gigantic. And I remember playing those, thinking this sounds cool, but man, this looks dumb. And how am I going to fit this on my Pedal Train Junior?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
But yeah, we got to go do a podcast here in just a few. Well, I have to go do one with
I'm gonna go
Mr.
work.
Corey Congilio himself.
I'm gonna go work.
Still the LLC name for Strymon, Damage
Control.
Damage Control.
Huh?
Damage Incorporated.
Damage Incorporated. Go. Like you did drums first.
I like that song. I mean,
what Do You Remember song were you singing? I was doing Michael Jackson.
Do you remember the 25th?
I was doing Michael Jackson. Do you remember the time?
See? I mean, it's just,
remember the video for that? It had Magic Johnson and Eddie Murphy in it. I think Iman.
I'm sure I did.
It was great. It was all Egyptian. It was like Egyptian theme.
Oh yeah.
It was great.
Man,
video.
that's back when like music videos were
so good. They had like a big premiere like on In Living Color because that's how he debuted all his videos from the Dangerous album. It was a great record.
Yeah. Jason, you have a great weekend. We still have a little time.
Yeah. Any questions you guys have?
Yeah, fire away.
Everybody, the September. Do you remember? That's a better song.
Oh, absolutely.
Than do you remember the time?
Yeah.
Do we talk about Red Hulk? He brought it up a little bit.
I just said I don't want to give any spoilers away for the movie.
But the movie wasn't good.
Movie was a little. I'm not gonna give it a full. But like, would I see it again? No. Am I glad I watched it? Yeah.
I really enjoyed you recounting the entire plot to me.
Well,
because I wasn't gonna go see it. I thought about it, but I'm like, that was exciting.
Harrison Ford was the best part.
Yeah.
Far and away. Yeah. And Red Hulk, the CG on Red Hulk was pretty good. Looked pretty good. Let's see. Any other questions?
Concerns,
real quick.
Thoughts?
We probably have to kill the stream in just 5 minutes or so. Oh. What's for lunch?
I have my leftovers from yesterday. I've got a chicken salad sandwich because we had Taco Bell, so I didn't eat my lunch yesterday. Yeah.
I'll probably just have peanut butter. Kevin, happy Friday.
Hi, guys.
The Led Zeppelin documentary?
We were talking about that yesterday.
I kind of want to.
Looks cool.
But I don't know if I'd want to go see it in a theater.
Mm-hmm.
Where do babies come from? Storks. Been gassing for a Murphy Lab 64 SG. I feel like SGs don't get much love.
You've been talking about SGs recently.
I have. Yeah.
You've been talking about it.
You know,
we just bought a guitar.
Now I can't do anything.
I know.
But yeah, you know, I like SGs. SGs to me are a great standing up guitar, not a great sitting down guitar. That's just for me. But standing up, it's a rock and roll. I used to have a Epiphone Elite or Elitist. I don't know. I can't remember which one. SG, and I gigged the piss out of that thing. I loved it. I wish I still had it.
Yeah.
See it in the theater. Mythos Univibe, nah. Cadmium.
Don't eat it.
Yeah.
Don't eat the cadmium.
Oh man, I don't know. I don't understand kilograms because I'm just a dumb American.
I'm a dumb American. Yeah.
I'm a dumb American. Dumb American. Nope. Sorry, Evan. The 1 in 3/4As. I don't want to burst everyone's bubble.
Please don't. Please don't burst any bubbles.
But we only have like a handful.
I know we said that we were going to do like a small release, what we had left over, and it's looking a little rough.
Well, there's not many.
It's not many.
And
unfortunately,
one of the things about those, so building up to that release, we had the first time in Mythos history.
Oh God.
Some of the potentiometers were bad, so we built a bunch of them, and we were just killing ourselves trying to figure out why the knobs weren't working. And I come to find out some of the pots weren't right, and this has never happened. Our supplier made it right, take care of it. It's no big deal.
Yeah.
But that meant there's a lot of pedals that are made that I have to unmake and then change the potentiometers out because we only have a limited number of diodes, and those are already installed on the boards. So I can't just make a new board because I don't have enough diodes. So it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing.
Dang.
So, and all that to say, we might have 10.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
We're working on it. Anyway.
That's a 10-pound telly? Jeez.
Oh, man, that stinks. Sell it and get a new one.
That's the best bet.
They break easy, SG. Don't drop it.
Be real careful.
I never broke mine, and I gigged it like all the time.
Best laying down guitar.
What does that mean?
I don't know, but people are like, best guitar for standing up. What's the best guitar for laying down?
Oh, Strandberg.
SG.
I love Strandberg. You saw it in iMac. Okay. I don't care to see a music documentary in the theater.
I mean, the sound system probably pretty banging.
I'm sure it is, but like that seems like a movie that I don't want to pause if I have to go to the bathroom. It's just like I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I like going to the theater, but only when it's like a gigantic spectacle.
That's kind of what's happened to Hollywood. That's the only time people want to go anymore. So.
Yeah. Let's see. Are ebony fretboards more susceptible to cracking, more so than other wood if it gets too dry? No.
Not that I'm aware of, yeah. Loving my N1.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, Greg. Yeah. I talk about those guitars all the time. That was a good visit, Greg McFadden. That's fun. You were gone. You were gone that day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Where was I at? Was I sick?
I don't remember.
Was I puking?
Were you at like
or was that
like Mass Street or something? Did you do that Mass Street event in like November or something?
The shop wasn't open.
Oh, it might have been when you went to see me.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Okay, Trevor.
Okay.
Trevor, let's sell a guitar.
All right.
Trevor, you already got a guitar on order. We're getting you a Two-Rock and a Novo. You want to buy another Novo. I love it. This man's my man. Trevor's my guy.
The F1 Custom Olympic White. How chunky is the neck, the one we have in stock? So that has the chunky Novo.
The chunky Novo. It's an 880.
Uh-huh. But, like, I would say it's very comparable to, like, a 59 sort of Les Paul shape.
Yeah.
But a truer shape. It's not overtly big. It's just a little more full in your hand.
Yeah.
Excuse me. The normal like medium C neck that Novo does is very like when you think quintessential California-made guitar neck, I would say that the Novo that medium C is like the idealized version of that neck. The chunky is just that on steroids, and it's very comfortable.
Yeah.
And I mean, like,
I think that like the thing about the Novo necks that are so good is that like I like a chunkier neck, but like even the medium C is so comfortable because the necks are just so well made, and it's all about the shoulders and how you sand things. And the Novo guys obviously have it nailed. And to me, like a good neck, even if it's thinner or thicker, you can play it, even if it's maybe not necessarily your favorite. But I think that the chunky C, if you're worried like, oh, like I'm not a chunky neck person, it's not like a baseball bat thing because it might be a little thicker, but the shoulders are so comfortable that anybody can play.
Yeah.
Anybody. Yeah.
Oh, okay. We'll do this last one here, I think. Evan, do you have a favorite divided by 13 amp? Found their naming conventions a bit more difficult to navigate compared to Two-Rock.
We've nicknamed them. Yeah.
But curious what you like from them. So I love the BTR.
That's the best one.
I mean, well, that we've played so far.
Yeah, because I'm still waiting on the A&W 39.
Yeah. A&W.
Get them cheese curds and that root beer, dog. I know. It's just how I am.
But the BTR, Brian Ray, of Paul McCartney's band Wing.
Yeah.
Is it's like if you took the best of a Marshall and Vox and married it together. It's really straightforward, easy to use, sounds great.
I think I love it.
I ran it through that PRS 4x12 cab as a demo for somebody, and it just, it sounded so good.
Uh-huh.
They're all like very unique and very much their own thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I think for me, if you just said, what's the divide about a get? If I was going to get one, I want something that's a bit more British with a little more aggression, especially compared to Two Rock. I think BTR is a no-brainer.
It's a good call.
Master Volume Works has the pull for boost. We've got some more coming.
We do. One more.
Oh.
Yeah, they call it's a medium C and a chunky C. Those are the two, but you can get them on any guitar.
Yes.
And you can get the 25.5 or 24 3/4 scale length on any guitar. So
Yeah.
you can custom order that. So if you want the longer or shorter scale length or a medium or a chunky C on any guitar, you can do it. That was a big deal when I was there to get the conversion neck right to where we could do it on anything. And it took a long time. And when we did it, I was very happy because it makes it really versatile. So they have suggestions. The Nucleus series has like what the stock neck is, but you can just go through the custom order list or you just call me and I'll take care of it and we'll talk.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Corey's saying that pretty cool that Fred originally named the amps after friends, artists, hence the initials. Yeah, I get the naming convention because I mean, like, you know, Marshalls, like JMPs and JTM, those are like his kids' initials and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's pretty damn confusing when you're trying to be like, you're trying to sell something like, oh, this is CJ11. What does that mean?
It should be the Thunderlord
Oh yeah,
or Xenophage. Or I'm just naming machine guns from Destiny.
the Trinity Ghoul.
Dude, Trinity Ghoul rules.
What was the bow? Oh, the Imperial Needle.
The Imperial Needle.
I was
What
really
about
good with that.
The what was the Jason's on here. He'll know. What was the Hot Bob Brown? What's the one we liked so much? The fire bow.
Oh,
that did the triple thing and then it caught on fire. It was our favorite bow forever.
well,
I forgot what it was called. Why am I forgetting? Doesn't matter.
I don't know.
Just name your amps after Destiny weapons. And
I need to find some of the clips of me using Trinity Ghoul, and I'll send them to Jason. Because there were moments where I would get so many headshots.
You were really good with the bow.
I was only,
really
but it
good
was
with
just
the bow.
that one.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's some Destiny talk for you. Happy Valentine's Day. Don't forget over on Mythos Instagram, the AMA. If it's not live yet, it will be soon. Go ask a question on AMA, and have a great weekend, everybody.
Oh.
Bye.
Hang loose, brother.